Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. The government is still shut down and the president is MIA.
The government's on pause. Chris Hayes is melting down. And Trump's his favorite punching bag. Jobs are slashed. Crisis ignored. Is it fair? Maybe. But where was this same energy when Biden went off the grid for 4 years? Join me as we take a look into this hypocrisy and the double standard.
Government is still shut down and the president is MIA. Maybe we'll see him on the golf course this weekend.
Oh, now the media is mad. Biden ghosted America during debates, inflation spikes, and border chaos. Total silence. But a shutdown hits, and Kristen's acting like democracy's collapsing. Outrage much?
Essential federal employees now working without pay. An estimated 750,000 federal employees are being temporarily furloughed as the White House threatens mass layoffs starting as early as tomorrow. Here's Vice President J.D. Vance during a surprise appearance at today's White House briefing.
If this thing drags on for another few days or, God forbid, another few weeks, we are going to have to lay people off. We're going to have to save money in some places so that essential services don't get turned off in other places. That is the reality of the government shutdown that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have foisted upon the administration.
Dems unified on healthcare. Noble. But polls favor them. How convenient.
This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Phone. Posting long monologues on social media that sound like they come from a Bond villain. Promising the American people lots of pain and privation from his shutdown. From his shutdown.
Republicans tried to bully us. And it's clear they can't. They don't have the votes.
We will not support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of everyday Americans.
Republicans creating crisis.
They don't have the votes.
We will not support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of everyday Americans.
This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Senator Chuck Schumer is the top Democrat on the other side of the Capitol, and he joins us now from New York City. Good morning to you, Leader. I want to pick up on something the Speaker of the House was pointing to. He wants this fight to be about illegals, as he said, and I want to be specific here because we know from our research that there is no federal money that goes towards health care tax credits for undocumented immigrants in this country. The federal government doesn't fund health insurance for the undocumented. But it is also true that states like yours, New York, does provide health care for people who are in this country illegally. And their argument seems to be the money here is fungible. And bottom line is it comes out of the federal pocket. Do you want to respond to that?
You know, Johnson doesn't want to discuss the real issue, the healthcare crisis facing the American people. So he puts up all these fake lies, healthcare crisis facing the American people.
On something the Speaker of the House was pointing to, he wants this fight to be about illegals, as he want to be specific here because we know from our research that there is no federal money that goes towards health care tax credits for undocumented immigrants in this country. The federal government doesn't fund health insurance for the undocumented, but it is also true that states like yours, New York, does provide health care for people who are in this country illegally. And
healthcare away from millions of Americans, tens of thousands of my constituents in suburban Philadelphia, then they got to govern. They got to find the votes, build these policies. Notice how they don't want to talk about healthcare.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about these government healthcare plans that you propose in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay, let me start with you, Mayor Buttigieg. Why?
They're acting as though this is procedural or something extraneous, as the speaker said. This is not extraneous. This is central to people's lives. This is health care.
I want to be specific here because we know from our research that there is no federal money that goes towards health care tax credits for undocumented immigrants in this country. The federal government doesn't fund health insurance for the undocumented, but it is also true that states like yours, New York, does provide health care for people who are in this country illegally. And
this is SNAP, for crying out loud. Nutritional benefits. This is WIC. Starting today in Pennsylvania, there's going to be limited funding to apply for WIC.
Project 2025, the new Handmaid's Tale for your feed. TikTok celebrities are wailing. DNC spinning dystopia. Genius psychops? Maybe. But the soft targets aren't who you think.
And remember Project 2025. Remember that? Yeah. The right-wing Heritage Foundation's 920-page blueprint for how a Trump administration could seize control of the apolitical levers of daily government, purge non-MAGAs from civil service, impose a kind of far-right authoritarian dystopia on Americans from above. Well, Trump is now embracing that plan, something we all knew would be the case, but he waged a very effective campaign in just lying about it.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025.
Came up at the BET Awards last year.
It's not a secret. Look it up. They are attacking our most vulnerable citizens. The Project 2025 plan is not a game.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about these government health care plans that you've proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay, let me start with you, Mayor Buttigieg. Why?
A top educator, immigrant success story, arrested by ICE, and Iowa's melting down. Kids marching, parents crying, but the celebrity moral squad, where are they? Nowhere. So much for speak the truth to power, huh? Remember the big promise? No pardons, no protection. Yeah, about that. Turns out accountability meant a decade-long blanket, pardon in disguise. I've got the paperwork. Let's talk hypocrisy.
Abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
President Joe Biden had previously said that he would not pardon his son Hunter Biden, but now he's done exactly that. Here's what we know so far. Joe Biden pardoned Hunter Biden weeks before he was set to receive his punishment for federal felony gun and tax convictions, and less than 2 months before Donald Trump is set to return to the White House. Biden had pledged to Americans multiple times that he would restore norms and respect the rule of law after Trump's first term in the office. But he ultimately used the extraordinary powers of the presidency for his family's benefit. In a statement released on Sunday evening, Biden said that raw politics had infected this process that led to the, quote, miscarriage of justice. Hunter Biden was convicted in June of 3 felonies: for purchasing a gun in 2018 while lying about not illegally using or addicted to drugs, according to prosecutors. He was also accused of failing to pay at least $1.4 million in taxes.
He teases irreversible cuts like it's Armageddon. We're not even sure he's lying. He's just amplifying. But when the Dems quietly flipped on pardons, That's how the narratives is controlled.
Already used the Project 2025 playbook to shut down USAID, which might kill like tens or hundreds of thousands of people.
And here's the reason why Elon Musk and others have been taking a look. Because if you look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this.
Media fear mongers. Project 2025 ignores Dems' pardons and MIA movements. Trump's bold. Biden's buried secret. Demand truth from everyone. Who's the real threat to vulnerability? You decide. Fired up? Like, subscribe for raw reactions.